What exactly is the time frame here for when the U.S. could possibly make a decision?
It's up to the president. There's nothing forcing his hand here. It could happen in a matter of days. Could happen overnight.
So let's say it happens in a matter of days. Then what? How long does it take before we could see actual military action?
Well, it could be immediate. And the first thing we could know about it is that an announcement that explosions are going off in Damascus. And in fact, I think that's the most likely option, is a package of very precise airstrikes that happens once and then is done, and doesn't result in sustained combat operations in Syrian airspace.
How could it affect U.S. relations with other countries like, let's say, Iran?
So Iran, there's implications if we act and if we don't act. So let's first, if we don't act. If we don't act, then all the threats we make against Iran are also hollow. And so this is a case where...
It strengthens them.
Right, think about it. I mean, this is a case
they're hollow until they're not.
I mean, but it's all about credibility. And here we have a president of the United States who says, oh, the use of chemical weapons is a red line. If you go over it, there's going to be consequences. If there are no consequences, what it suggests to everyone else is this is someone who makes stuff up, who makes threats that he doesn't follow through on. Now, if we do act, it depends on how we act. And a set of surgical strikes that is over and done with, I think, is unlikely to have a lot of contagion, particularly if we don't target the Iranians who are on the ground in Syria right now, providing assistance to the Syrian military, and if we don't target their vassals, Hezbollah, who essentially work for them to a certain extent, who operate out of Syria. So, Stephanie, it really depends on what we do. If it's over and done with fairly quickly, I think Iran stays out. If it goes on for an extended period of time, or we target Iranian interests directly, they could begin to escalate.
How? How does it not go on for an extended period of time? Anytime we are in that region, we're never doing something in a vacuum. It seems like it's never ending. More money, more people sent over there.
4 years ago, the Israelis attacked Syria out of the blue, blowing up a nuclear reactor, which was being used to make nuclear weapons. It happened overnight and was done. You never heard about it again. And there have been other strikes against Syrian targets. In Iraq, in the 1990s, we did this a lot, too. When Saddam Hussein would misbehave, we'd launch a couple cruise missiles at him. It would happen for one day, and then it would be over. So I think there actually is a scenario where they are punished for what they did. They pay a price. They blow up a bunch of regime targets, and then it stops. It doesn't continue to escalate and spread.
Iran's not the only country that's been supporting the Syrian president. Russia has also. We already have shaky relations with Vladimir Putin and the Russians right now. What would be their response to U.S. involvement?
I think that for them, the question will be, is the U.S. government now trying to take out Assad, and remove Assad from power? And if that's the case, then we're talking about a major blow-up and a real proxy conflict with their ally. If, on the other hand, Russia judges the U.S. action to be designed mainly just to punish them for misbehaving and using chemical weapons, I think the Russians understand that. Someone acts up, they get attacked, it's over, the price is paid, blood is shed on both sides, and you go back to the status quo ante.
All right, well, was that a Freudian slip there? You said Saddam. Is it because deep down you think this could turn into an Iraq situation?
The Obama administration is not going to permit that to happen. I mean, it certainly could. How
do you know that?
He's already trying to get out of two ground wars.
Yes, but sometimes
he hasn't.
Drawn in.
It's one of the reasons I think they've been so reluctant to take even the most minor measures. The problem is, in this case, we don't even know on whose side we'd be fighting. I mean, there's 300 rebel groups, right? 5 major factions.
And why don't we pick up our toys and simply go home? Look at the Egypt situation.
Well, first of all, in Syria, I mean, we essentially have. I mean, we have no toys. We're not doing anything.
Because it's the escalation with chemical weapons.
And what we're doing is we've got important allies on the border, Turkey, Jordan, and Israel, and we are assisting them to defend their airspace and their borders. But other than that, we have essentially, other than talking and conducting diplomacy, let the fires burn in Syria.